Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany Lewis, a breaking news reporter here at Forbes. Joining me now is my Forbes colleague, staff writer Zach Everson. Zach, thanks so much for joining me.
Hey, Brittany, thanks for having me back.
I want to read the headline that you wrote for your next story and dive right in. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene bought Tesla stock after named as chair of Doge Subcommittee. So I want to talk about what the Doge Subcommittee is and what Doge is, because after Donald Trump was elected back in November, between then and his inauguration, he announced the Doge Committee, and Elon Musk was going to be heading that. So what exactly is Doge? What are some of its goals?
So it's the Department of Government Efficiency, and yes, it is either being headed by Elon or not. They're kind of, they say he is, but then in court they won't say he's in charge of it. It's basically tasked with slashing government spending in the hopes of finding more efficiency. The criticism, the lawsuits state that it is just way overdoing it. It is just going in and tearing up departments of government that are vital and really ruining long-lasting programs that have been of huge benefit to Americans. And then in some instances afterwards, it's like, oops, we cut a little bit too much. We need to hire it back. So the subcommittee there is part of the House. It's under the House Oversight Committee. Marjorie Taylor Greene was announced to be the chair of it back in November. And its job is to kind of provide some oversight of Doge. If you read some of her tweets on it, though, it's instead of oversight, she's viewing it more as a collaboration with. So it doesn't sound like much oversight, but more of partners in crime there.
And I think within the past month, when we've seen Donald Trump start his second term as president, it's hard to talk about his presidency without also talking about Elon Musk. Time magazine, one of their covers, has Elon Musk behind the Resolute desk. A congressman just this week said to me that he believes Elon Musk is the real president because he's the one making all the decisions. Doge has done everything from going after USAID, cutting different departments or jobs in different departments. What else has Doge done? What are they responsible for in the past month?
The main concerns, again, appear to be just slashing without really concern for the programs they're providing, government agencies, USAID being one of the big examples. You've got issues where programs that we've cut are now causing people in developing nations to lose access to vital health care and people want to die. You're looking at staff being laid off across national parks, reports about IRS. There's talk that DOD might be next. There are a lot of lawsuits going back on this. There's also talk that some of this is going to benefit Elon Musk directly. I mean, he is a major government contractor, and I haven't seen any reports of Elon Musk contracts being curtailed here.
Trump said that Elon Musk is in charge of Doge. We know Elon Musk, one of the richest people in the world of Tesla fame. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's chair of the Doge subcommittee. After she was named chair, she bought Tesla stock. How much did she buy?
We don't know exactly because the House ethics rules just require members of Congress to report them in kind of broad ranges. So she made 4 purchases. Each purchase was between $1,000 and $15,000. They went to 4 different accounts. So the total is anywhere between $4,000 and $60,000 worth of Tesla stock. She had already owned some Tesla stock as well that she reported on, but this was a substantial pickup to her holdings in the company. And now, she is working with Elon Musk, and he's been accused of slashing government to his own benefit there. There was the reports that DOD had a contract to buy Tesla Cybertrucks. So, it does seem opportunistic in some ways to all of a sudden, you have oversight of this member of Congress, and then you have oversight over this person running a government agency, and now you are tying your financial well-being to an extent to their company.
You and I have talked about the intersection of money and politics now for years, and it's often a murky place where ethics are kind of, loosey-goosey there. So when you're looking at this, is there a conflict of interest? Is there ethical questions? I mean, what does that really look like for Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Well, there are ethical questions anytime a member of Congress trades stocks. There's been a push in recent years to get lawmakers to ban them from trading stocks. A couple of their colleagues, a Democrat and a Democrat and a Republican have filed a bill to try to ban members of Congress from doing this. Bills like that have failed in the past. It seems to be they get a little momentum, they get some headlines, and then they kind of whimper out because they're also members of Congress who don't want these to be passed. And then also, like, where do you cut it? Like, okay, fine, maybe this member of Congress knew about, isn't allowed to buy, but what about their siblings, their parents? They can certainly pass the information along. One of the best examples we saw of this was with Senator Richard Burr of North Carolina, a Republican who has since left the Senate, but he was accused of trading on inside information based on the COVID pandemic. And there was a lot of evidence there showing that he did just that he had tipped off members of his family. But in the end of the day, no charges were filed. Insider trading is notoriously hard to prove in court. If you look at Martha Stewart, who's, was subject to one of the most famous insider trading cases in recent years, she didn't go to jail for that. She went to jail for obstruction of justice. So it is difficult to prove there. But I think one way to eliminate the problem, or at least the perception of the problem, would be to ban members of Congress from trading stocks.
And there is a bipartisan push just for that, because as we know, members of both parties here in Congress have bought stocks. Members of both parties have criticized that very move. Is this the first time Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene has bought stocks while in office?
No. She's a pretty active trader. She has some money based on, in part, inheriting a construction company from her family. She's a regular buyer. She actually just bought some more stocks in the last week. Palantir, the defense contractor that Peter Thiel is the heads, some stocks in Meta, Adobe, Apple, all small amounts, like it was around 1,000 to 15,000 for each of these. But she's a pretty active trader. And you'll find some members of Congress will not buy or trade stocks at all. Others will put their stocks in a trust and let somebody else handle it. And then you'll find other ones like her who are pretty active.
As you and I mentioned before, Elon Musk has really been in the news in the election cycle for supporting Trump, now for working really hand in hand with him. How has Tesla's stock been performing in recent days?
Well, it has gone down since she purchased the shares. You're seeing a lot of pushback on that. Over the weekend, there were some big protests at Tesla dealerships across the country. You're hearing the vehicles are being referred to as swastikars. There are posts online of people complaining, of Tesla owners complaining that people give them Nazi salutes or middle fingers when they're driving by. So there is certainly some pushback. Sheryl Crow famously sold her Tesla and put a video up saying, it was time just to get rid of it, get something else. She donated the proceeds to NPR. So it is a bit of a difficult time right there for Tesla. Now, whether that holds or not, who knows? It doesn't look like there's really, and I'm not a car expert, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot of competition for Tesla's market share. So if you are looking for that type of car, there's just not a ton of other things in the United States to go after. But, if that is the car that's targeting your stereotypical progressive environmentalist, they're going to certainly be a little bit less willing to buy them right now.
Well, Zach, per usual, I appreciate our conversation. Thanks for joining me.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.